Don't need money. Don't take fame. Don't need no credit card to ride this train. It's strong and it's sudden and it's cruel sometimes, but just might save your life. That's the power of love.
Yeah, when Hagrid said that music would calm Fluffy down, I don't think this is what he had in mind.
Welcome back to Crit and Crit, and with that horrible intro, I am Axion.
I'm embarrassed.
And we are continuing our discussion of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone and our playthrough of Final Fantasy V. And if it wasn't painfully obvious, today we are discussing the concept of the power of love.
Yep, it's a very, very common element of a lot of stories because, well, there are a few things that come up quite a lot in a vast variety of media, and love is one of those often deemed to be universal. Oh, I think you missed your thing there.
No, it's like puzzles more complex than that.
But love is one of the more universal themes that most people can relate to in some capacity. So, of course, authors are going to rely on it quite heavily when they want to get something across that's going to resonate with their reader base. And obviously, it can take many forms. I think most people generally associate love in terms of like either romantic or familial, but there is also platonic friendship and just all sorts of different stripes of it. And in Harry Potter, the sense that we first encounter it is obviously, since we're writing about 10 and 11-year-olds, not romantic. Please do not start shipping the 5th and 6th graders. It makes things very awkward.
Too late.
Wait till the later books, at least.
Oh, like people weren't shipping them when the first book came out.
I can honestly say that I do not remember partaking in any conversations about shipping until book 4. I also didn't talk about shipping in general. It kind of got thrust upon me when it came up because it's not really the thing I'm most interested in when it comes to reading. So, yeah. I don't know. I cannot verify if there was shipping of the young children that early on in the series.
I'm going to figure this out.
But, yeah. How do you think love really shows itself in Harry Potter?
Oh, let's see. Well, there's the painfully obvious one that the book starts with. The book begins with the mention of Harry's family being dead, and there is a passing comment by Dumbledore that implies that that's what it is. There's a passing comment or two by Dumbledore that seems to imply that he is aware, at least on some level, of what's going on with Harry's situation and with his parents' deaths.
I think that's actually more at the end of the book that we get that, because looking back over that first chapter, Dumbledore's exact wording when McGonagall asks how Harry survived is, "We can only guess, we may never know." Stark contrast to the end when he straight up tells Harry how he managed to survive.
Okay. I was just getting my order of operations confused.
I mean, and honestly, this is once again up in the air with the ye olde Dumbledore gonna dumble situation of how upfront with his information is he being, even with someone he trusts as thoroughly as he does Minerva McGonagall. Because chances are he knew exactly what happened. Or he could have taken some time to figure out after the fact through study and observation, but given Dumbledore's history of not fully disclosing anything until he absolutely has to, I'm more inclined to believe that he just didn't tell her for whatever reason.
Of course it's gonna make me come back.
There better be something really worth it in this chest.
One way to find out.
It's gonna be like a potion and I'm going to laugh at you so hard.
That would be my luck.
might as well go ahead and jump to the reveal of that with the actual source of Harry's survival of the thing that should not have been survived. Which Harry doesn't fully understand, because what he mostly sees is Quirrell, which is to say Voldemort in Quirrell's body, reaching out to try and restrain Harry, and pulling his hands away with what appear to be fairly severe burns. So, yeah, that's an interesting take on the situation, because we are later told by Dumbledore that that's the result of his mother sacrificing herself to save him. So literally, the power of love is what reflected the curse and saved Harry's life, and continues to protect him now.
But say, and it's lingering long enough that Harry is still getting the benefits of it all these years later.
Which means that the power of love has at the very least a 10-year shelf life.
Funny enough, I can only think of one other series in which this sort of the power of love is a persistent effect that stays on you for an extended period of time and protects you from certain kinds of supernatural harm.
And it's also about a wizard named Harry.
Yep.
Was that worth it?
Yeah, elixirs are kind of rare.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, we mean the Dresden Files, but the power of love there is kind of attached in a very different manner to what's in Harry Potter, so we're gonna kind of just leave it there for now.
Yep, we might touch on the Dresden Files at a future point, but it will be a distant future point because we kind of don't want to rush into that until, you know, the series is done, and who knows how long that's going to take. Please stop attacking me. Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes, cure the monster.
I mean, they do have the swirly heads of bad decisions. So you might want to do something about that if you want them to stop.
I don't
Also,
have...
random question.
Yeah.
Why does Blue Mage look like a luchador?
It's not really a luchador, it's just like a domino mask.
Too late. I have seen what I have seen. But yeah, obviously the biggest example of power of love would be Lily Potter's sacrifice to save her son, which has lingering implications to the present day of the story. But there are other forms of the power of love in the setting as well, where we can clearly see familial love present in the Weasleys as my go-to example here, because we don't see the Weasleys very much in the first book, but pretty much every time Mrs. Weasley is present or mentioned, it's in a very positive way where she's doing something to demonstrate that she cares about her family and wants to take care of them. Which I only bring up as notable because the primary family we see before the Weasleys is the Dursleys, and no.
Yeah. Okay, nothing to steal.
And it's also kind of notable in the sense of, like, Mrs. Weasley met Harry for approximately a 30-second conversation because he didn't know how to get on the train. She didn't know who he was, and as soon as she finds out who he was, her reaction is not, oh cool, I met a famous person, it's, oh, no wonder he was by himself, poor thing, and immediately starts mothering him by proxy. He gets a Christmas present from her when, remember, Harry has never had a Christmas present before because high Dursleys. So the fact that without the slightest hesitation, the slightest concern about finances, because we know that Weasleys are rather poor from just commentary from Malfoy and just Ron's general hesitation around accepting things on the train when Harry offers to treat him for snacks. It's just kind of a breath of fresh air, because, like, look, someone is actually there to take care of the kids in an actual way that's going to matter, rather than just saying, oh yes, I'm totally here for you, dear. Like, no, she's actually looking out for him, wants to help him out. Just because he needs it. And there's something very pure about that.
Shit.
Too late. It's really fun that we're going to have to talk about Phoenix Down when we get to the second book. I'm just saying that, you know.
Yeah.
So it is, I think, kind of interesting, just that the power of love is so clearly noted as not just being just a kind of a cliche. Because, you know, people talk about like, the power of love will get us through this, because it usually in the sense of, like, it gives you, like, the sense of determination, the will to carry on, the confidence to keep doing what you're doing, just the sense that you will... Oh, you're getting it handed to you. The sense that you will be able to succeed. You could probably use some power of love here. Have you tried shipping a couple of the characters?
I mean, I'm sure the fandom has.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it might help you out, because clearly, the fighting is not going that well. What does Flash even do? It's been a long time. Okay. I was gonna say, it lowers your accuracy, but that's the wrong franchise.
I mean, it basically does, yeah. Aha! All out of Disney!
But yeah, beyond just the, almost empty platitude of, just believe in the power of love and all things will be possible. Like, no, they literally mean the power of love will make it impossible for this guy to touch you, let alone murder you. And I just kind of find that interesting. And it is kind of sweet in the sense of, you know, Harry was too young to remember his parents, and there's still this lasting way that they're with him. So it's kind of thematic in that sense, too.
Yep. Plop. This sounds familiar, Professor Quirrell.
I guess the power of love did save the day. Or, you know, at least ripping out a bird's feather.
We are not going to be able to save the fire crystal.
Spoilers?
It's not really a spoiler. This is the third crystal out of 4 that we've ever gotten to. It's going to blow up. It's already cracked.
Everything is going to go boom.
Oh, hey, Mr. Werewolf.
The wolf is not your enemy. Is he a good boy?
And this dude's probably possessed and is going to crank up the crystal. Yep, possessed.
I mean, he could be possessed, or this could be Jurassic Park where he's underpaid and therefore he's going to sneak out the dinosaur eggs in a can of shaving cream.
I'm pretty sure the purple circle of doom means possessed. That's what happened.
If you insist.
Anyway, I'm not sure there's much more to add about the whole power of love thing, to be honest.
Yeah, probably not, and I think there's more we can get into with it later on. But for now, I think that, yeah, it's probably a good place to leave off, and we will move on to something new.
Yep. After we bid Mr. Werewolf farewell.
If only Gallup had any idea who he was. It's nice when the architecture forces you along the plot rails.
And there it goes. And with that, we will see you all next time.
Bye!